How you guys doing tonight? Or whenever you catch the replay, please remember to smash the like button, um, share the live stream, share the videos. Remember to actively uh, watch the uploads. Check out the uploads, guys. Don't let the uploads miss you. All right. Don't let the uploads miss you. Okay. Wow. There are some things to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. Jamaica truly is in a bad place. It's really bad. Um, the only saving grace is the Lord Jesus Christ. That's it. Like we have. I keep saying it, but we really don't have any choice. Like we really don't have any choice. What we're dealing with, this administration, this leader, his team. Mm-mm. God is the only entity that can deliver us from these individuals. It is that bad. It is that bad, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things happening. So I'm going live on TikTok as well. Normally on TikTok at this time of the night. I don't know, but still gonna try. Still gonna try, guys. I'm still gonna try. Alright, so let me just go to the article first with um yeah, let me go to the article first. It says here that illegal cocaine found at CTOC. Commissioner removes unit that investigates drug crimes, says JCF. That was what was in the news today, 5 hours ago, right? I haven't read the article, but the title alone, I was like, what? I need to get better understanding of what is happening. I was scrolling. I was on the road, so I was watching, um, not being able to listen because there was a lot of noise around me, but caught some parts of Andre's show because they turned off the music around me, and he was looking at this, and I said, "Yo, this story just leaves so many questions." So based off what he was saying, I'm like, "Yo, I definitely need to come and look at this." And then, we have to look at the final episode um, and listen in because I didn't get to listen to that at all of what Dr. Dawes was saying and kind of deep dive into that as well. And I want to say congratulations to Dr. Alfred Dawes for what he has done with that series and bringing in the evidence from people, doctors, nurses that are in the field, and all the reports from them coming from their mouth. This isn't, they can't PR their way out of this. The fact that Andrew Willis has not asked or demanded Christopher Tufton to resign makes him complicit with mismanagement in the healthcare system that actually affects you and I as regular citizens of this country that has to use the public healthcare system, because a lot of us cannot fly, go overseas when we need to get treatment, when we need to get surgery. God forbid you're in an accident. We can't fly, we don't have no visa. Some people can't even afford to apply for a visa. Let us be real. You understand? Let us be real. But anyway, let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Let me read it out loud. Hopefully, this thing is not too loud enough.
In focus, auto, food, shipping, art and leisure, classifieds. Illegal cocaine found during audit of CTC storage facilities. High-level probe launched. JCF. Published. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is reporting that an audit of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTC, this week uncovered 2 illegal parcels of cocaine inside storage facilities at the division. The JCF, in a release on Friday, said the audit of CTOC storage facilities was triggered following the arrest and charge of Police Inspector Martin Walker, who is attached to CTC.
Okay, now I understand. So, because the superintendent you remember the superintendent that they caught with the 2 parcels of cocaine, white lady. I don't even know if you can see that on the internet, but the white lady. Like and share the video, guys. Let's get to 50,000 likes as fast as possible on TikTok. And everybody that's watching on YouTube, please just hit the like button. It helps the video. It tells YouTube to call more people over here. So hit that like button for me. It's easy. All you have to do is look at the thumbs up button at the top of your screen if you're using your phone. Thumbs up symbol somewhere up here. Yeah, man. Press it. It will open up for you to hit the like button. Or you can just double tap the screen, the middle of the screen. See? Hit me right here with your finger twice like this. Alright? And you will hit the like button. You will see a big thumbs up come up on your screen. Alright? So thank you to the additional persons that has hit the like button. Now let's move on. So now I understand. So they decided, listen, the superintendent, like that's a big high-ranking official in the police force. Lam Redeem, big up. That's a big person in the police force. So they said, all right, we got to go look into CTOC now and actually go search. Now, a lot of questions come to my mind. Are we getting the full story? Are we getting the full scope of this? Could it be that other parties are involved that are above that superintendent? Is it possible? Question. A very serious question. Is it possible that there's... I want to know, have you guys read that article with the superintendent that got caught? I mean, it was in the news, like there was a TV, it came on, do you want me to play it? If you want me to play it, let me know, so we can get further context. Yes, but let's continue.
CTC. The police had reported that a quantity of cocaine was allegedly found in Walker's private vehicle during an operation on January 8th. Walker, who is charged with conspiracy to export cocaine, as well as possession, dealing, and transportation of cocaine, is out on bail. The JCF said Deputy Commissioner of Police Richard...
No, that part I am confused about. Why is he out on bail? Why is he should be farmer now because he's supposed to lose his job. Caution, big up. Why is he out on bail? Is he cooperating with the police? You know, why is he out on bail? It's kind of weird. I think that's kind of weird. Respect, caution. I think that's kind of weird for him to be out on bail. Somebody make it make sense. Could he flee the country? Is it possible? And then, I mean, potentially, is there anybody else involved? Usually in these types of things, the police can't be the big... Police is not the big wig. Like, we watch the movies. The police is not the big wig. The police is the small fry. Like, he's a big fish, but probably not that big. I think we have to follow this story, you know, with CTOC, you know. All the investigators out there, I think we really have to pay attention to this story. Alright? This is This is shaping up to be something. It could be massive. It could be massive, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. I just have that feeling about this. Like the man them go into CETA can actually find more hidden away. Just like how them catch the two persons them that work at the St. Ann Municipal Corporation. At St. Ann Municipal, they work with the government, senior members of government. The guy and the lady and the man that got caught at the airport with the pallets. One of them had what, 80, them say 80 plus pallets of cocaine in his belly, plus there was cocaine in the luggage. So all of these, Brianna, respect. So all of these fines, back to back. It's almost like Pandora's box is being opened, ladies and gentlemen. Literally. Yo, this is some wild stuff, man. It's like a movie in Jamaica right now.
Stewart, head of the crime and security portfolio, ordered the comprehensive audit of CTOC storage facilities. Headlines delivered to your inbox.
Good.
Sign up for the illegal cocaine found during audit of CTC storage facilities. High-level probe launched. JCF. Published Friday, January 23rd, 2020. The force said the illicit drug was found in breach of established protocols.
Oh.
It said detectives assigned to the Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division, FND, were immediately contacted to commence an investigation following the discovery of the cocaine at CTC. A high-level probe is underway. The JCF said Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake has ordered the immediate removal of FND from the oversight of CTC.
Whoa, wait. It said detectives assigned to the Firearm and Narcotics Division were immediately contacted to commence an investigation following the discovery of the cocaine at CTOC. A high-level probe is on the way. The JCF said Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake ordered the immediate removal of the FNID from the oversight of CTOC. That is interesting. That is interesting. That is interesting. So, is this? It appears that Dr. Kevin Blake, is giving the impression that he doesn't trust the FNID. You remove them from the oversight of CTOC. So, deductive reasoning would say that you do not trust the FNID. Do you guys understand that if he doesn't trust the FNID, why should I trust the FNID? I don't even trust him. I don't trust him. What's up, Janet? I don't even trust him. Why would I? Like, yo, this whole thing it's crazy, bro. What?
The High Command has also given its full support to the division as it carries out the investigations. The audit and the investigation are ongoing. All
right, so it said that the High Command has also given its full support to the division as it carries out the investigation. I don't understand. You're giving your full support to who? CTOC, FNID? But then, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But let me hear what Andre says about this particular situation. 1 second. Let me just find the clip. Let me find the clip. You know what I love? I love the fact that the people are keeping the government in check, at least where contacting the PMP MPs are concerned. Because if you're listening to Parliament and you look at social media, they are making a more concerted, hi Yvonne, they are making a more concerted effort, ladies and gentlemen, to actually contact the MPs them. You understand? No more secret meetings. No more secret meetings, guys. Whoa. Can I tell you? No more secret meetings. No. We're not gonna do that to you. Can't take it nice. Hold on, let me find this clip here. Ah, here we go. Here we go.
In this country. Remember they found out inspector of police. Remember they found an inspector of police, Jamaica, 51 years old from Portland, from the CTOP department, the Center for Counterterrorism, with almost $30 million worth of cocaine. Subsequent to that, Jamaica, there were two municipal agents, one from St. Anne's Parish Council and another one from Trelawney Parish Council,
Yes.
that they found them with over 70 pellets of cocaine and one in them thing to Auntie.
Why, Andre, last thing me read, that brother they have over 80 pellets in his stomach. The guy with them catch, a man think of the airport for the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, over 80 pellets in a them. Like, yo, bro, like, you not worth it, bro. Kids, do not traffic. Do not get involved in no form of drugs. Yo, ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Follow Jesus here? Yeah, man. No joke about it.
But to my surprise today, Jamaica, the CTOP has a storage facility.
All right.
And in that CTOP storage facility,
Yes.
on East Queen Street Road, cocaine, we don't know the value of the cocaine.
Still a probe.
We don't know the value of the cocaine. Now, the Commissioner of Police must explain to us units of cocaine were found in that storage facility. The Commissioner of Police has not held a press conference.
Listen to me. No, Janet, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that that has been an operation that is a well-oiled machine. It's obvious that where are the checks and balances? Does CTAC get audited? Spot check audited? Like, do they wait until something like this happens before they do an audit? Where's the oversight for the police force? Where's the oversight for the government? I'm talking about real oversight. I'm talking about legislation that gives men and women the power, the authority to lock up a politician, Karen Big Up. Give them the authority to lock up a police officer. Maureen, good night. Where's the oversight for the JCF, CTAC, and FNID? All of them. Where's the oversight? You see, what this doesn't know, ladies and gentlemen, they can no longer come to us with this esteem of, listen, we are of integrity, we are infallible, and you know, we should not be questioned. No, they cannot come to us with that posture anymore. When you have a senior member of CTAC, a long-standing superintendent, right, that gets caught in this manner. I mean, at that level, you would think that he would be comfortable financially, right? If he can be, if he can be, if he can rub butter at his mouth or mix look sugar water give him and him sipping, the whole thing is how far does this rabbit hole go? How many other police officers could be possibly involved, right, in this type of illegal activity? And what does that mean for us, the people of Jamaica? They are the ones that are supposed to be protecting and serving, you know. You can imagine you're in the street and they're beside the police and people come for them because they're involved in drug smuggling. Can you guys imagine that? And you are an innocent bystander. I mean, the risk of the police is already at a higher level anyway. That's the nature of their job. But to increase the risk, where the risk would include innocent bystander, even their own partner. That, imagine you're a police and you have a partner and don't know that your partner is involved in cocaine. And then, I mean, it's crazy, yo. It's actually crazy. If you have family members in the force, if you have people there, police officers that are out there, man, if you serve God, if you are transforming the life in that manner, yo, draw closer to him, just like what the apostles say. Because things are about to get real ugly in Jamaica if this is the rabbit hole that's being opened up. Things are about to get real ugly. It's kind of scary, yo. I don't know about you guys, but this got me. I was saying it on Andre. It's like a whole lot of questions are swirling in my head, but some of them I can't even ask them. I don't even know if to formulate them, to be quite honest with you. I might sound crazy to you. Right? Madness.
The JCF decides that they're just going to send out a press release. A press release is not sufficient to me as to what is happening in the police force.
Yeah, you know, he beats his chest a lot about the excellence of the force and all of that. He should equally come out and condemn this. Let it be understood that, yo, listen, as a JCF, we don't tolerate these type of things, right? And put those on notice that if you are involved, we will find you. That's the type of energy I want to hear from the Commissioner of Police. Yo, have you guys ever heard some of the Commissioner of Police in some of the states in America? When those men speak, you know that they stand on integrity. You hear what I said? There's no question. There's no question. We see why they are commanders in their field. When they speak, God gave them the gift of commanding men through their utterances. It takes a serious man of integrity to gain that level of respect. And I'm telling you, I've seen some of them. They have stood up to Trump. They have stood up to anybody. Anybody. Doesn't matter who. When it comes to standing up where the law is concerned, they know it. One, you have to know the law. Two, standing, enforcing it, no matter who it is. Having no, like in Jamaica, right? like in Jamaica, which police that you know in Jamaica right now that is brave enough? If something, the operative word is integrity. Thank you. Which police that you know in Jamaica right now would arrest Andrew Jones if they had anything to arrest him on? Who do you think would put the cops on him? Please indulge me, guys. Who do you think in Jamaica is brave enough as a police officer to do that? I can name one former police officer. Like, it would be his pleasure to put the cuffs on any politician. One. That's it. And, you know, I take that back. Maybe two. He's not a politician himself. Not a police, so, you know, he can't be in it. Two former persons. Yo, it's crazy, man. Madness. Madness, fam.
So I am asking you tonight. President Trump and the United States spoke about Jamaica being one of the major narcotics routes. And in less than 21 days, you have seen the amount of what? The amount of cocaine.
Interesting, right? The dominoes are falling. The dominoes are falling.
The amount of cocaine in this country where government officials are involved.
So in this country,
government officials are involved. It is a crime shame.
So this
A major multi-agency investigation is underway.
It is a crime shame.
What led to a plane entering Jamaica's airspace and the subsequent emergency landing in Rocky Point, Clarendon?
Get a ganja. Yes, sir. No, sir.
can some of the blood clots as a boy. Eh? In the airport?
No, sir. Not like Commissioner Police. The plane, what happened to what happened in second area at Arcadesa. I am saying tonight, Jamaica, it is stink.
When I hear it good, right?
Soldiers are in.
When I hear it good, right?
The soldier with the 28 guns, plus the 6,000 ammunition. The SSL man, the daughter with our man, with the 4,000 ammunition. Cannot be this thing. So I am asking you therefore, if there is guns and drugs.
Is there any link with all of these? Like, all of these things that happen, is there any link? You guys, yo, wanna see, like, yo, it's kind of weird. The dominoes are falling, Jamaica. Share this live. The dominoes are falling, I'm telling you. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Probably the police know who capturing the little daughters and little sons around the island and taking them apart of the trafficking route.
Bruh.
Because guns and drugs goes with trafficking. Human trafficking. Drug trafficking, Jimmy.
So what happens when one, you fear the police taking your life, and two, you fear that the police is involved with these types of crime that he's talking about, given the fact that we have seen a series now of operations yielding this result. And some people might say, why are you not looking at it from the positive side of things? Oh, what the police is doing, they're actually catching the criminals. Yo, you have to be slow. You have to be slow to think that these people that they're catching in this type of amount of cocaine, that these are the masterminds behind it. You have to be slow. Like, if you don't watch the movies, fam. You don't watch the movies. The movies is a reflection of actual cases that has happened worldwide. There have been drug cartels that have been studied and the range that they have worldwide. And to get that range, usually high-profile politicians are involved. So if Jamaica is what America is saying it is, where the trafficking of cocaine is concerned, bet your bottom dollar that high-profile politicians are involved. We just don't know who. But I was listening to the apostle. No, I was listening to Dr. Bishop Mark Stewart. And of course, certain declarations was made that will happen after January 30th. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared for what is to come. And for what is to come, we only have 7 days. After January 30th, I heard Dr. Bishop Mark Stewart say, look at the Ministry of National Security. Alright? That's the major one. Let's continue.
And many of them saying, where are these children and where are these young adults and where potentially the police know where they are.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Potentially Jamaica, they know. So Commissioner of Police, what is happening in your police force?
Guy.
You think about transferring department can the fact that this is a nasty combination.
Mm-hmm.
And the United States government needs to take a look at what is happening in Jamaica.
I agree.
What it is not drugs, it is guns.
I agree.
So President Trump,
Dangerous.
do an investigation. I am sure you will find them, President Trump. Secretary Rubio. And I am saying, Jamaica, these are reasons why they have decided to start the process of taking away. You see what they're doing there? You think of that? The next round of diplomatic war is when they're going to start taking away public officials, like the commissioner and senior members in the police force, and senior members in the JDA, and senior members of the government. They're going to start taking them visa, they can't travel. Because to whom much is given in this country,
Much is expected.
And a lot of you don't want to talk the truth.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Have you ever seen this amount of drugs?
A true man, it's alarming.
Have you ever seen this amount of drugs?
You know, I've been hearing, I've heard Mr. Wayne Lonesome talk about it consistently, and Mystic Sensation and Melting Pot. I've heard them speak about it consistently, you know. The high level of drugs that is coming through Jamaica. Over the years, all of the drug bust them. Blessings. Andre, big up yourself, bro. Stevens and I plays PDTV. The amount of drugs. Millions and millions and US and millions of drugs coming to Jamaica, come through Jamaica, you know. Imagine what them find. Imagine what them don't find. Look on what them find and imagine what them don't find. That within itself need to alarm me. So who is involved? And then when you look at the characteristics of the officials that are actually government leading us, when you look at their characteristics, the fact that, I mean, their financials are questionable. Questionable whether they made what they made legally or not. That is problematic. That is quite problematic, ladies and gentlemen. So remember the day when such man said that he was repenting, him and his wife. I wonder how deep of a sin he committed, why he had to publicly repent in that manner to even the unborn children. Somebody need to ask him now. Somebody need to ask Andrew on this. Like, yo, what did you really mean? What were you repenting for? What have you done? What are you doing presently, if anything? You see me? That a quote.
Drugs goes with gun. Gun goes with drug trafficking and human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
So, Commissioner, we need a press conference. We need to know what is happening. President Trump, I know you're busy in Europe and busy in Greenland, but you and Secretary of War and Secretary Rubio needs to look at Jamaica specifically. This looks like a trans hub. And many of them are benefiting from this hub. Many of them, President Trump, are benefiting from this hub.
These unexplained wealth. Hmm?
And it ought to be highlighted.
True, man.
And the only reason why you're seeing these things coming up now is because they know they're under scrutiny and they're under the radar. So they'll find...
Ding, 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 ding. That is it. I don't think you would have gotten any. That's why I'm looking at this like, yo. You know what I mean? The superintendent, bro. Somebody got it. Somebody upper up had to know, bro. Somebody upper up had to know. I feel like he was a sacrifice. Yeah, I feel like he was a sacrifice. I don't feel like, you know, alright, yeah man, you know, collateral damage then. Let's not use sacrifice. I feel like he was collateral damage. I even feel like the one them at the mobile was collateral damage too. Facts. Mama, son, big up yourself. I feel like them are collateral damage too. I don't trust this, man. This, hey.
There are bigger cases
It's
than
gonna
what
be
we're
crazy,
hearing.
ladies and
There are
gentlemen.
bigger cases than what we're hearing in the public, Jamaica.
You know, yeah, man, yo, it just feel
There are bigger
ominous.
cases than this what we're hearing in the public.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Many big cases that are not being spoken about, Jamaica.
I believe so.
The court come jump on the road, AK fully road past with the court.
Yo, Jaja, we can't take your music. Hold on there.
It's all over here. From the politician to the police, from the police to the church, from the church to the businessman, is a syndicate of drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
A syndicate of gun news and drug news. And when I said to Jamaica last week, I'm telling you, be prepared for what is to come because there'll be more to be exposed. Since my say Andre Mount and what Mount, Jamaica, I study patterns. As a historian, I look at patterns and I tell you, I predict exactly what is coming.
It will get crazy, man. No joke about it.
It is going on a long time. Many of these men that you see in business is drugs, them wash. Many of these super mega churches are drugs, them wash.
And you know what Andre is saying? If you any community you live in, what he's saying, somebody knows what he's saying is true. And some of you probably watching right now, you guys know businessmen and you know for a fact that they made their money and built their empire of drugs, specifically this type of drugs. That's where the fast money came through. Whole heap of people you see in a community where the man them, everybody walk on me done. Yeah. And no man I feel like it's specific to any ethnicity. You don't have to be a black man, you don't have to be a white man, you don't have to be an Indian, you don't have to be a Chinese, it can be any one of them. Believe. You hear that? No joke. No little joke.
And developers are drugs. Many of these attorneys, drugs. Many of these policemen and soldiers, drugs. Many of these doctors and member of parliament and councillors, drugs.
Yo, have you guys ever watched The Blacklist? If you've never watched the series The Blacklist, that the criminal mind, bro, just watch that series there. The man is called the connoisseur of crime. The way how the man criminal network is like, is there something like this actually happening on earth? Who came up with this movie? The connoisseur of crime, Raymond Reddington. You guys, if you've never watched The Blacklist, I'm encouraging you to go and watch that series on Netflix, The Blacklist. Sick. Sick, may I tell you. Open up your mind to criminality, like how it actually happens around the world. The connections, everything. Yeah. Seriously. No joke, no look a joke. Yo, most of the times when we see some things on the news and what them feed you, but what happened, even the big investigator them, not go so. Not go so, you know. They make up that and feed the public. That's why when I see them a thing happen, I say, yo, you know, I look back at my mind and I say, yo, do you know something really right about this, you know? This smell of way, bro. This, no. You don't can't shake your feeling. Smell of way. And you have some other little things we are going overseas recently. Women even have a selling name. But, yo, especially in the US, at the US, yo, we're connected to Jamaica. Yo, bro, I tell you, yo, no, sister, it don't look good. It don't look good. It don't look good.
The syndicate of them in this country. Syndicate of them can't expose nobody because they are part of the drug trafficking ring in this country. But all of those things will be becoming car dealerships, wholesalers.
Like, come on, as we say, watch the movies, man. They show you in the movies. That's how they watch the money. Gotta go into business. You know what I'm saying? How much for your car? How much for ship down cars? Feel me? Anyway, we're gonna move on. Ladies and gentlemen, the grand finale. Well, not the grand finale of what I will be talking about, but the grand finale of Dr. Dawes. I have not listened to it yet, so we're gonna go into it, ladies and gentlemen. And can I tell you, the series, you probably have to watch the series 10 times. I guarantee you there's something that you missed. I'm guaranteeing you there is something critical in that series that you missed. So let's go into this. I don't want the music because every time the music pop on, the music will start it actually, it's copyrighted. I don't know if you don't know, but that music there, copyrighted.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alfred Dawes, and this is UC on Life Support. So far, the picture is clear. The University Hospital of the West Indies, a regional institution of immense historical and medical significance, is in crisis. Not because of a lack of funding, but because of a fundamental failure of governance, accountability, and leadership. Today, we talk about solutions. What must change, who must be held accountable, and what the future can look like if we have the courage to demand it. The people working.
People, I already see where this is going. This is a call to action from the citizens of Jamaica. If you have any fiber of patriotism in your bones, and I'm speaking to everybody, whether you support the PNP or not, if you have any fiber of pride for this country, the image of this country, if you have any pride, if you have any fiber of love, respect for what our ancestors built, for what our ancestors fought for, the many brilliant ones that came before us, that blazed that trail of advocacy for us to see a better Jamaica, whether they were in politics directly or looking from the outside. If you have any respect for them and any respect for yourself, I want you to really look at the evidence that Dr. Alfred Dawes has presented, right? and you will know what you need to do. Your conscience will speak to you. I already know that this is a call to action to we the people. We, the PMP cannot do it. This is a tool given to you to open up your eyes so you realize the gravity of the situation that we are in. Crystal, big up. This is one institution in the healthcare ministry, a very important one, probably the most important one, because it's a training facility. It actually trains doctors to come up. And one of the things that was found out was that, literally, the trainees have to be the doctors. They can't even get time to go to school. Understaffed. Not because there's not doctors out there without work, The system has been hijacked. It has been eroded. The Manchester boys have let loose in our healthcare, in the healthcare ministry and the new HWI. And if listen, everybody has to use the hospital at some time. So if you're thinking about green or orange or any color at all, forget about it. This is about principle. This is about just straight up right from wrong. The man them evaded taxes that is supposed to come in to help us. A man ship all these items down here, right? And taxes, millions of dollars of taxes was robbed from us. It's not a if, we're not asking any, it's a fact. Read the report. Right? It's night time now, so I don't want to cuss. Listen, I don't know, for those who watch me all the way, I don't know. I genuinely get upset, It's not a, I'm not putting on a show, I genuinely get upset when I see what is going on. And you know what mostly upsets me? The fact that you guys cannot open your eyes. I see people in the comment section when I post stuff on TikTok, and the sheer foolishness that they write, and to support this nonsense from this government and from a Christopher Tufton. You are the enablers. You guys have literally, right, created a monster. And I'm telling you, you're gonna suffer for it. Your children are gonna suffer for it. Your mother, your aunt is gonna suffer for it. Because you have enabled the monster. Thank God, thank God. I want to say thank you, Lord, for keeping me, my health, where I don't have to go to the hospital for so many years. Thank you, God. Thank you. All praises to the Most High. Because I'm telling you, it's scary. It is scary.
The UHWI are not just complaining, they are proposing solutions. Resident doctors and consultants have outlined specific actionable reforms. With respect to staffing, they have asked for collaborative workforce planning between HR and departmental heads to determine realistic staffing requirements. On the topic of infrastructure, there is a need for urgent repair and reopening of the medical annex. Clear strategic decision-making regarding the UHWI service capacity amid financial constraints. Temporary ward-level use of stretcher spaces, again, to decrease overcrowding in the emergency room. And of course, the staff need guaranteed access to essential supplies to prevent daily inefficiencies. Strategic financing solutions must be considered and include sponsorships and service fee reviews, with the immediate prioritization of critical items such as iodine, medical gases, and life-saving antibiotics. University Hospital of the West Indies is an academic institution. The protection of scheduled academic time for residents and interns, which is currently being sacrificed to cover service gaps. Department-specific operational reforms, including the expansion to 5 or 6 general medicine teams, the establishment of new cardiology teams with alternating admissions, and adequate subspecialty staffing to prevent the disruption of general medicine ward rooms.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you guys see the NAJ president interview on TVJ? The lady said she was traumatized. She said she was traumatized and she had to remove herself from the space to go through that emotional episode. She was traumatized of how, and this was at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. I know this is about UHII, but you know, it's an issue all across the board. Listen, don't buck your toe. Try to live in peace. Please do not engage in any physical altercation with nobody. Whether fist-to-fist blows or, yo, don't climb a tree, brother. Avoid the hospital at this juncture are the best advice. Now there is allegedly a flu in the air. Right? If this flu breaks out, what's Mobi going to do? I don't know how big of a population there in Mobi, and the biggest hospital in Mobi is not functioning. How long them say? How long them say it will take if you do some type of, I don't know, basically like a patch them, a patch it. And then the nurses are saying, no. We need this thing to be completed. Patching is not going to be sufficient. It still will be at substandard level working conditions and not, dignified for patients. Training facility and the people have to be working instead of training, robbing them of their time to put in their work in what they came there for, their schoolwork. That's the primary reason, ain't it? They're supposed to be persons with experience that are working in the areas that they would be working, so they can gain the experience through them, the practical experience, the on-the-job experience. It shouldn't be that they should be the expert and then can't go to class. How backward is this government to have this happen under their watch? And we know it's a very, very bad situation. It's an extremely bad situation because nurses and doctors don't come out and protest like that. They don't. Even Dean Jackson Miller, me hear say to the lady, I think it was on Beyond the Headlines. They don't. Beyond the Headlines with doctors. I'm going to try to find it because we need to go over that.
They state clearly a teaching hospital cannot function effectively without protecting its workforce, and that is what needs to be done. Another letter concludes, we look forward to leadership that demonstrates the same compassion towards staff that it expects staff to show to patients. What must systemic reform look like? Real reform cannot be cosmetic. It must address the root causes of the crisis. Transparent procurement. There must be full publication of procurement plans. needs list, and awarded contracts.
Of course.
With clinician input built into the process from the beginning. All procurement documents must be available as public records, past and present. No more retrospective bidding, no more after-the-fact contracts, no more missing documentation for hundreds of millions of dollars worth of
Can't
contracts.
work.
And of course, you must have independent financial oversight.
Of course.
Regular, on-time audited financial statements with clear reporting on revenue-generating services such as radiology and pharmacy retail. No more vague estimates, no more missing accounts. The public deserves to know how every single dollar...
Every cent.
We must have safe staffing levels, fill the vacant posts, protect the training time, and align staffing with patient volumes as doctors have repeatedly requested. No more operating with half the required interns. No more nurses being short on wards. No more telling Cuban and Chinese trained Jamaican doctors that there are no jobs while departments collapse from the weight of understaffing.
That is one of the wicked. See, these are the reasons why I believe that they're doing it on purpose. I am tonight. Island girl, good night, how you doing, my darling? Bolo, I wanted to volunteer when I got there and was told I have to send in my credentials to the Ministry of Health and wait on them to check to see if I qualify. I am redeemed. You serious? Wow. Wow. That is whew, okay. So that never happened. I chose man a long time and I'm glad to see an island girl, big up yourself. See, that's why I'm gonna go live anytime, you know, because I never know who I'm gonna catch. And sometimes it's just awesome to see somebody that I know I see. Used to be here all the time, and I'm not saying, I'm not attacking you or anybody that's not here now, because I know a lot of people are not getting the notifications, but in Jesus' name, that will change. And whenever I go live, the people will get the notifications, and if they want to be here, at least they will have the option. Oh, Bolo is live, let me go and check him out. You know, for however long, if they stay the whole time, if they stay for a little, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's the aim. But back to this part right here, man. This part is just...
No more operating with half the required interns. No more nurses being short on wards. No more telling Cuban and Chinese trained Jamaican doctors that there are no jobs while departments collapse.
That is involuntary genocide. That is involuntary genocide. That's aiding and abetting genocide, ladies and gentlemen. You know you're understaffed and qualified people come for the job, and you tell them that there's no space, and you don't hire them, and people, you have 24 babies dying in 25 days. The money is evading taxes for companies and then buying back the stuff from the companies. And people need machines. By the way, Sagicor, we really need to hear from you, Sagicor. Statement that you put out, I see Dana Morris Dixon promoting the hell out of your next run. But honestly, Sagicor, the aroma coming from your reputation, I'm telling you, the fumes are, you know, it's unbearable. You have to come and clear this up. We need to get the invoice. We need to see the machine. We need all of that. Because you said in a statement Or maybe it wasn't you guys that released it. But it appears that you guys put out a statement that you bought a CT scan for 75 million. A CT scan for 75 million would have certain specifications. It was bought for a specific hospital. So we need to see that CT scan in the hospital, and we need to see the receipt. We need to see the accounts. How I know what you're doing. We need to see the accounts, Sagicor. Sagicor, if you have any integrity, you would demand said same from the individuals that you were promoting, fixing up. As a matter of fact, you know, so we have to get into that. No, we have to get. Remember, play this. We have to get into that. It's serious.
From the
It's
weight
serious.
of understaffing.
It's serious.
We must have functional infrastructure,
It's serious.
dedicated budgets and timelines to fix defective beds, reopen closed wards, and address the chronic supply shortages. No more excuse making, no more billion-dollar budgets with nothing to show on the way.
You remember when they said we spend the most money in healthcare? Where's the money going? In whose pocket? Doing what with it? How is he using that money? What results are we getting in terms of quality of service for the people that the money came from, which is us? So, you know, when they go on the platforms and they say these buzzwords, we spent the most money. We spend the most money on healthcare. Okay. What does that translate to? Better healthcare services, improved additional equipment, what? More staff, what? The actual patient getting higher quality of service? In case you didn't know, those are all rhetorical questions because it's no, 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 and no. So the money was spent. All of this money was spent. But where's the results? Where's the tangible results? I cannot wait to see a real leader be given the mantle following God's instruction for this nation. I cannot wait to see a real leader take this country to the next level. I cannot wait. And when you get, you see, this is why people crave for Ibrahim Traoré in Jamaica. Because you see, Ibrahim Traoré, in 3-4 years in his country, the level of destitute and poverty, he has given back his people hope tangibly through action. They have bought in completely every move he made. The people said yes. Every move he made, the people said, and I'm not talking about some of the people. I'm not talking about there's no separation. I'm talking about over 85% to 90% of the people there. They will lay their life down for their leader because they know he is looking out for their best interests. And some people don't love Trump, but Trump have those types of supporters too in the United States. You guys don't really have a problem with Trump, you know. You have a problem with his supporters, them. Them back him 100%, you know. 100% them back him. And, you know, for my Jamaican people, you know, if you not got people here, them can't, you know, them, if you not got 4 rules, 4 can't do the point, you know. If you have like a pride. If you have like a pride. That's true. I don't have a problem with the United States or anywhere for that matter. But if you have like a pride, man, you go where you're welcome. If a leader of a country is making it more difficult for you to reach his country, why go there? You think you're gonna be treated well when you go there? If somebody doesn't welcome you to their house, why go there? You're just asking for trouble at that point on yourself. I'm just saying.
Above all, there must be respect for staff and accountability for the leadership. Robust grievance mechanisms and
Mr. Bruce Gold, about Bruce Golding. I'm the doctor, Bruce. Sir, is there any truth to you abusing a staff member? Is there any truth to that argument? I heard some things on Andre Stevens that I have to say, I find it's kind of outlandish. I would really love for you to come out and let it be clear about that. I find it very is there any truth to that argument? Alright, so the reason why I'm shocked is because usually you're talking about doctors here, right? And doctors, you know, you guys are held to certain standards in terms of the type of work that they do. How does it play out where you allegedly, and that's why I'm asking if there's any truth to it, you're allegedly verbally abusing a staff member? Like, what? And there's arguments about intimidation from the staff. They feel intimidated. Is there any truth to that argument? But, you know, Revolt is shielding people like you. They refuse to talk about your alleged situations through staff reports. Boy.
to the intimidation of staff and clear, fair HR policies. When a senior clinician is accused of bullying and verbal abuse, that complaint must be investigated and resolved.
Immediately.
When a minister presides over scandal after scandal, there must be consequences, and not just committee reports that are filed away and disappear over time. The role of the ministry, the parliament, and the public must be changed.
What did I tell you? You, the Jamaican people, you have a role to play. You have a role to play.
This is bigger than you is board at this point in time. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has a duty to ensure that public funds are used transparently and that performance audits lead to real change, not just placated press releases. Parliament must insist on timelines, measurable targets, and regular reporting on the implementation of the Auditor General's recommendations. The Integrity Commission must investigate the procurement failures at the University Hospital of the West Indies with pressure. And the Jamaican people must refuse to let this story fail.
Jamaica, want to hear that? Refuse to let this story fade. And the only Gaza say, fam, how are we going to get any better if ministers like this find the truth and give the people and ignore the people? Well, you know, the question confuses me because the answer is right in front of us. Collectively, the people have to come together and demand what they want. If the people come together and demand what they want, I said it again. There is no government on earth, none, that can stand against the people. As a matter of fact, the people is the government. Argument done. And I'm not inciting anything. I'm saying that's a fact. So collectively, as a people of Jamaica, what do you want? When you figure that out, you demand it. So again, a clarion call to the labor rights them out there, and all well-thinking Jamaicans, even if you never voted, you still have to go to the hospital. Your parents have to go there. And don't be selfish. Don't say, oh, but I can't afford a private doctor until your finances are low. And trust me, medical fees are very expensive. It can vary. No matter how much money you think you have, medical fees can eat it out quite quickly. Thank you very much, Honorable Gaza. The people of Jamaica. See, this is a baton. Let me put it this way. The PMP and Dr. Alfred Dawes gave us a baton of truth and reality. He gave us a baton of truth and reality. Are you going to take the baton, Jamaica? And are you going to run to the finishing line? What is at the finishing line? Real change. Because we cannot continue like this, you know. If you want a lucrative business, start a dead house in Jamaica right now. Another lucrative business, bodyguard work, armed bodyguard work. Those are the two most lucrative businesses in Jamaica. I remember Tan Ayayat. I remember. But Floyd Green never stay a female. Show a labor right. No movement there. How in God's green earth did Floyd Green become a minister of government after that? Oh, Andrew Honest was the leader at the time. It all makes sense now. No integrity. None.
Because if we allow the powerful to wait out the new cycle, if we accept vague promises of procedural improvements without concrete action, then nothing will change, and this will be just another 9-day wonder. I have stated publicly, this is how our health system is driven into crisis. Not by chance, but by poor governance and failed political oversight. I have called for independent oversight of UE operations and for those responsible to face consequences.
Right.
The University Hospital of the West Indies is more than a hospital. It is a symbol of Caribbean aspiration, excellence, and self-determination. It represents the promise that our people can access world-class healthcare without leaving the region, that our doctors can be trained to the highest international standards right here at home, and that our medical research can contribute to global knowledge and the advancement of the whole human race.
Antonio.
That promise is under threat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a gem. And High Queen Ebonis, how are you? Good night. Your face look familiar. Yeah, your face look mad familiar. Your face look familiar, but anyway.
Not from lack of funding, but from a failure.
Yeah, I was saying that we have a gem. The UE was a gem. They say diamonds are forever, but this diamond is is getting rotten from the inside. This diamond is getting rotten from the inside, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, look at the report. Look at the details of the report from the Auditor General. The facts are there. The clear erosion. The environment. Alright, so let's put it this way. If you leave your house, right, and you leave your door open every day, don't put a lock on the grill, what are you doing? You're leaving your house in an unsafe manner, right? If you come home and find your door open and find your furniture gone, you were robbed. You put in back the furniture. You continue to leave the door open every time you go away. Every time you leave the door open, the furniture gone. You see, this is what is happening with the Ministry of Health. It's the same thing happening over and over again, ladies and gentlemen. And what ends up happening is that our tax dollars is being robbed. That is not, there's no argument in our tax dollars are being robbed. Ladies and gentlemen, the environment for theft and skullduggery and criminality, the environment is set for the criminals to come in. I was waiting on this person to vent their frustration. Because once they come in and say kiss me teeth, I already knew. They said the lamest thing ever. I don't live in Jamaica. Yo, y'all are so basic. You guys are so basic, fam. Y'all are so easy. Y'all, man, y'all are basic. I mean that in the most disrespectful way. Some of you lab rats are basic. But anyway, enough about you. Enough about you.
On the threat, the advancement of the...
Yes, so the door is open and the environment is set for high levels of criminality. And there needs to be an independent investigation. Why? Because we don't know who the criminals really are. You get what I'm saying? Do you expect a criminal to investigate themselves and come to you with the answer and the proof of their criminality? I want you to think about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think you need to take long if you're a bright person. Do you expect a criminal to investigate themselves and come back to you and give you the report that puts them to prison or gets them fired from their job? No. That's why you need an independent oversight. That's why you need independent oversight.
whole human race.
Sorry.
That promise is under threat, not from lack of funding, but from a failure of governance and leadership.
Mm-hmm.
If we lose the UHII's accreditation, we lose the ability to train specialists for the entire English-speaking Caribbean. If we lose the trust of international partners, we lose research collaborations, training opportunities, and grants. If we lose the confidence of our own people, they will seek care elsewhere and the institution will wither.
Mm-hmm.
But if we act, if we demand transparency and accountability and reform, then this can be a turning point, not just for the UHWA, but for the entire health system.
Yeah.
Over the preceding episodes, we have traced the history of the UHWA. We have documented the infrastructure and HR crisis. We have exposed the procurement failures, examined the leadership that enabled them, analyzed the Auditor General's findings, and we have outlined a path forward to the improvement of the university hospital. The evidence is overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
The solutions are clear.
Clear.
What remains is political will. The University Hospital of the West Indies was built 73 years ago on the promise that the Caribbean could train and heal its own people. That is why I went to the University of the West Indies. That is what we worked for when I was working at the University Hospital of the West Indies. This promise is worth fighting for. It is time for every Jamaican, every Caribbean national, every person who has been treated at the UHWI, trained there, sent a loved one there, or been seen by a graduate of the university hospital. It is time to say enough with the missing contracts, enough with the bullying and intimidation, enough with the billions spent and the wards still crumbling, enough with the excuses. We deserve better. Our healthcare workers deserve better. Our patients deserve better. The University Hospital of the West Indies deserves better. I am Dr. Alfred Dawes. Thank you for watching. And remember, this conversation does not end here. This is only the end of the beginning.
Wow. Dr. Alfred Dawes, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. It's personal for him. He used to go to the school. And he's absolutely right. I don't know who is watching right now, but if you are a neighbor of Jamaica within the Caribbean islands and you have a platform, I need to go to Team PMP and I need you to look at this series that Dr. Alfred Dawes has unearthed. And for those who are living in all those other Caribbean countries that are Jamaican, please share. Right? What you say? Me can't mix what? You can't mix CC with OG. What you say? You can't mix Caribbean with, what do you mean by that? We need the Caribbean. We need the Caribbean. This UHWI affects the Caribbean. It is the University of the West Indies. The University Hospital of the West Indies. You heard what the man said? Many credited doctors all around the English-speaking Caribbean go to this institution. And there's a lot of abuse happening. A lot of mismanagement happening. So it doesn't just affect Jamaica, it affects the English-speaking Caribbean. And I'm saying, if there's anyone out there, whether on TikTok, whether on YouTube, right, that is in these other Caribbean islands, if you're Jamaican and you're in these other Caribbean islands, share the Team PMP. Let them have this conversation in their country, from their perspective. Well, you can't mix carbon copy with the original, okay? With their perspective. Because it does affect them. Let's hear their stories. I'm sure there's a lot of doctors over there. I'm sure there's family of these same doctors over there. Right? They might be living in the States, they might be in Canada working, they might be in Europe, they might be in Africa. I would love to see a wave of discussion regarding what is happening. This needs to be international conversation, because I'm sure there's credited, doctors that came through that is working internationally. We need to hear from them. We need to hear from you, your families. That is a call that I would like to put out there. You know, a bone specialist here that was working at the UA. Okay, reach out to him. I am redeemed. Reach out to him or her, and let them introduce the series to them, so they can understand the gravity of what is happening at the UHWI, and let them reach out to their colleagues that probably went there and verify, and then spread it even more and have the conversation. Go, as Andre Stevens said, share these videos of the team PMP. They did the work, they gave the information, they structured it, they presented it in a way that is official. Right? It's now your job. All of you have a smartphone. Be your own hero. Do something. You guys are more important than you can even imagine. Why you think we asked you to hit the like button? Why you think we asked you to share the content? If you love the platform, if you love what we're doing, why you think we asked you to do those things? You move the algorithm, ladies and gentlemen. You can take this thing all the way around the globe with just by a decision to like, share. He sent it to his mother-in-law. Dahlia, how you doing? Said the government is wicked. Why can't people of Petersfield can't get help? Andrew Minions are wicked. Yo, man, I tell you, say, so much is happening in Jamaica simultaneously. We are fighting battles on so many fronts for the people. It is chaotic. It's quite chaotic. But we're going to move to this now. This is very serious.
No, Jimmy.
The Sagicor thing.
I started a discussion last evening or 2 days ago with regards to something that is developing at the UA hospital. What am I talking about? Sagicor Sigma Run is an annual charity affair that thousands of Jamaicans, right, Courtney?
Bush Brown, big up yourself.
Gather each year, running in an effort to help to do something for an organization in this country. In the year 2023, it was called the Legacy Run because that would have said it's the 25th year of the run. The aim at that time was to raise 75 million. Sagicor didn't raise 75 million. They went above and beyond the threshold, which they raised $91 million. Sagicor said in the Legacy Run that they're going to renovate and fix the pediatric ward at the university hospital. And equally, Edna Manley College gave some support. But I went to further Jamaica and I found the video. Doctor, listen, Ishmael showed the video of how Sagicor proposed the help that they needed to give the children.
Listen to this.
The Sagicor Foundation has moved to clarify how funds raised for the University Hospital of West Indies' pediatric unit were used. This comes amidst concerns raised by the opposition spokesman on health and wellness, Dr. Alfred Dawes. Dr. Dawes is worried following reports that approximately $75 million raised in 2023 for the UHWI pediatric ward may have been diverted from its original purpose without consultation with the hospital's pediatric department. The funds were generated through the 2023 Sagicor Sigma corporate run. In response, the Sagicor Foundation says it raised $91.85 million from the 2023 Sigma run to support 2 causes: the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts and the UHWI Pediatric Unit. The foundation confirmed that in 2024, about 79.2 million Jamaican dollars was paid to an authorized Philips distributor to purchase a CT scan machine for the UHWI. It said the supplier has advised that the machine was shipped in early December 2025. and is expected to arrive in Jamaica in February this year.
Yo, wait. Yo, Sajikor, come on, man. Come on, you cannot be serious. You're being serious. Can we get the procurement papers? Can we see the dates of when this machine was procured? 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. Can we see the procurement papers, the documentation? Or is it also undocumented like many of the things that are bought by the Jamaica Labour Party government? Can we see it? Well, I never think we can see it. And if we demand it, Jamaica, these are the things I'm talking about. If you're not informed, if you don't understand what's going on, how can you then advocate on behalf of yourself? How can you then say, no, you know what, we demand to see this because you're telling us that February this thing is coming? How convenient when it was raised this time, because the Auditor General reports are having people really think and ask themselves and out aloud real serious questions. You guys have awakened the minds of the people, and I want to thank you, and I want to keep the people's minds awakened. Guys, don't go back to sleep. Think, ask the right question, and demand, dig, go get the answers, ladies and gentlemen. It is important. It is important. All right. 1 second. Okay.
You heard that explanation. You heard
Very,
that
very,
explanation.
very convenient. I don't know.
But I'm going to come back soon to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come back soon. Look at what Sajiko did, advertising to the public.
This was in 2023, for full context. Listen to the advertisement.
The University Hospital sees about 2,000 children in need of advanced and critical care annually, and we offer highly specialized pediatric services, many of which are only available here at the University Hospital of the West Indies.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
It's one of our monitors that we have that is not working properly unless we tight to get the readings for the patients that we use them.
I think being selected as a signal run beneficiary would be excellent to us.
We want you to come out and support our target of 75 million Jamaican dollars this year. It will benefit our children and our neonates.
Whether you run, walk, or wheel, come out and be a part of the legacy run.
Listen again, you know.
The University Hospital sees about 2,000 children in need of advanced and critical care annually, and we offer highly specialized pediatric services, many of which are only available here at the University Hospital of the West Indies.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
Their infrastructure is at a poor state. Infrastructure. Building. Wouldn't this suggest already, given the first thing that was mentioned, that is inefficient or ineffective? was the actual infrastructure, was not ideal, wouldn't that suggest that 75 million was going towards that? You know? Listen now. That's infrastructure one, you know.
Yes.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
It's one of our monitors that we have that is not working properly unless we tight to get the readings for the patients when we use them.
I think
So even the machinery was mentioned. So they have to tie it up. No, this is not your house, no, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about they have to tie it up. So infrastructure and equipment. Two things was mentioned already. First, infrastructure. Hold on.
Tight to get the readings for the patients when we use them.
I think being selected as a signal beneficiary would be excellent to us.
We want you to come out and support our target of 75 million Jamaican dollars this year. It will benefit our children and our neonates.
Whether you run, walk, or wheel, come out and be a part of the legacy run.
It will benefit our children and our neonates. Infrastructure, equipment. They set a target of 75 million. So we can assume, using deductive reasoning, that both things that was mentioned, infrastructure and equipment, the 75 million would cover. Ladies and gentlemen, why are we now hearing that they bought a CTC scan machine? Where's the rest of the money? Febby, big up. Where the rest of the money there? Has the hospital been refurbished? Has the infrastructure been improved? And if not, where's the rest of the money? Because it cannot be, you cannot tell us that you just bought one CT scan. It's not possible that you spent the money on one CT scan. Albeit that a CT scan can cost that much. But, well, the common ground, if it was listed, I don't know if it just came in, but they went over their target. The Sigma run made $91+ million, and the aim was 75 for the hospital alone. So the hospital got what they told them to aim for. All right, so that there's no question about that. They made the 75 million. If you listen to the previous video that I played, Sagicor was explaining in our media release that the 75 million was used to buy a CT scan machine, and I am questioning alongside Andre Stevens. You bought one. Was it a multiple amount of CT scan machine? And then, if that is even the case, did you actually use the money for what you told us you would use it for, or what you advertised you would use it for, which is the infrastructure? No. The common ground. If you go online and look up how much for a CT scan machine, it varies. It can go up to $310+ million Jamaican. You have different types, and the slices in them is what grades them in terms, and the newness too. No, I'm asking the question. We don't have the information. That's why I am saying that Sagicor needs to come out. Ministry of Health. We need documents. We need to see the, well, we don't have it yet because we need the procurement documents, so one. Because we need to find out when did the procurement happen. Because they said it would come February. When was the procurement filed? When did they find the item that they wanted. And then even if they gave us that document and it was in a time before even an investigation was started into these things, we still have to question, what about the infrastructure? Is there any money left? And if there's money left, why haven't they started in 2026, you know? So even if it took long to procure the CTC scan machine, where's the rest of the money to sort out the building, the infrastructure that they mentioned in the video? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? And this is what you have to do. You have to think critically and think about the thing. And stop being blinded by party and colors and one bag of foolishness and die-hearted. You're gonna be abused continuously if you keep thinking that way. That's what's gonna happen. All right.
Play back that Tishman. Play back that. Play back that.
The University Hospital sees about 2,000 children in need of advanced and critical care annually, and we offer highly specialized pediatric services, many of which are only available here at the University Hospital of the West Indies.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
West Indies.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
West Indies.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
West Indies.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
One of our monitors that we have that is not working properly unless we try to get the readings for the patients when we use them.
I think being selected as a signal run beneficiary would be excellent to us.
We want you to come out and support our target of 75 million Jamaican dollars this year. It will benefit our children and our neonates.
Whether you run, walk, or wheel, come out and be a part of the legacy run.
No, this is Sagicor asking you all to be a part of the legacy run. And they want to raise funds. Then Ishmael, play back what Sagicor said, please. What Sagicor said with the news report. Play back that, Jamaica. I am going to cross-reference to that, Jamaica. Play back that.
The Sagicor Foundation has moved to clarify how funds raised for the University Hospital of West Indies' pediatric unit were used. This comes amidst concerns raised by the opposition spokesman on health and wellness, Dr. Alfred Dawes. Dr. Dawes is worried following reports that approximately $75 million raised in 2023 for the UHWI pediatric ward may have been diverted from its original purpose without consultation with the hospital's pediatric department. The funds were generated through the 2023 Sagicor Sigma corporate run. In response, the Sagicor Foundation says it raised $91.85 million from the 2023 Sigma run to support two causes: the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts and the UHWI Pediatric Unit. The foundation confirmed that in 2024, about 79.2 million Jamaican dollars was paid to an authorized Philips distributor to purchase a CT scan machine for the UHWI. It said the supplier has advised that the machine was shipped in early December 2025 and is expected to arrive in Jamaica in February this year.
I want to ask Jamaica one thing. I want to ask Jamaica one thing. Am I allowed to ask? We were told, we were, this is false advertising. This is a scam, Jamaica. This is a...
What do you guys think? You think it's a scam? My impression of the advertising is that infrastructure would be fixed and machines would be bought. because the machine tie-up and the infrastructure poor. Those are the two main points from the advertisement. I don't think anybody can argue with me for having that opinion about the situation, given what they said in the video. So it appears, if there's no evidence of any infrastructural improvement of that ward, yeah, it's looking like it's looking real phony, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking real phony.
Young question. You told us that you're going to fix the pediatric ward. You advertised to the public, surgical, that you're going to fix the pediatric ward. Where the kids are. Where the children are, the sick children are, who needs the assistance. Chris Saka, CEO of Surgical. This don't look good on your brand.
You don't.
So I want to ask Jamaica, are the true beneficiaries of this Surgical Sigma run getting them partner job? Are the true beneficiaries of the Sigma run getting their partner job? It has casted reasonable doubt.
True. True.
It, Courtney, has casted reasonable doubt.
Reasonable doubt, yeah.
Makes me question.
Mm-hmm.
It now makes me question. How then did Surgical not say to the public that they have diverted or shifted the focus and no longer assisting the pediatric ward? They are now going to buy a CT scan machine.
Right.
Where was that information?
Who made that decision?
Where was that information?
Was the public notified?
People must style in a son. People must go run in a son. Who not go do it again, Surgical? People must run, walk, and skip in a son. I am going to ask you, Jamaica. I am going to ask you tonight, Jamaica. How has Surgical moved from saying, play back with them so we call Bruce Ishmael? Let that sink in tonight. Let that sink in tonight. They Jamaica, advertise to us with Carl Bruce that they're going to fix the pediatric ward. Today, it's Jamaica. The babies who are sick, the babies who need the assistance, the pediatricians and the children who want this space fixed up. None of it was done. Play back the tape, Ishmael. Let Jamaica see what was advertised versus.
The University Hospital sees about 2,000 children in need of advanced and critical care annually, and we offer highly specialized pediatric services, many of which are only available here at the University Hospital of the West Indies.
Our infrastructure right now is at a poor state.
One of our monitors that we have that is not working properly unless we tight to get the readings for the patients and the users.
I think being selected as a signal beneficiary would be excellent to us.
We want you to come out and support our target of 75 million Jamaican dollars this year. It will benefit our children and our neonates.
Whether you run, walk, or wheel, come out and be a part of the legacy run.
I'm going to ask again, Jamaica. That was what was advertised. How then did Surgical take a 360 turn and never advise the public? Surgical deserves to explain to us tonight. And in light of the Sigma run that is now coming up, I might not be able to get to audiences because they're going to do media blitz now to counter what they're saying and what I'm saying. But Surgical, you look like you're also a Tutsi. Surgical, and Courtney, over the years, I've always questioned these charities. I'm going to say tonight, Jamaica, there are few people in this country, they have gotten that money to have been spent properly. As much as me and Dana Marie we go have with the friend. If none of the get that money the Courtney, it would have spent accordingly. If Andre Stevens got that money, or the entertainers got that money, it would have spent for what it has been benefited to do. This is a scam. This is a scam. This is a scam, Jamaica. How do you remove to say you are doing a ward, pediatric ward, surgical, and you realize that the media is not doing the investigations? They're just regurgitating what surgical has said. Neil Jackson, oh, you don't take this up yet. Emily Sheets, oh, you don't take this up. Cliff Hughes and George Davis, we know you can't take it up because you're on the tide of the Tutsis. And they will spend big right now to counter these arguments. That is what corporate entities do. So last night when we done with the Chris Zaka Palan, good night, Mr. Zaka. You know that you and your legal team watching me. But this, Mr. Zaka, even if they come with me with legalities, I am ready. I will not stop talking until this country is in a better place. One CT scan machine costs $75 million. Yeah. What is more profitable, or what is a more meaningful thing? You advertise to the public that you're going to fix the pediatric ward. Wouldn't it have been more meaningful and impactful if you had fixed the pediatric ward versus give a CT scan machine to the hospital? What can go so? What I'm going to ask you, Jamaica, I'm going to ask you tonight, out of fixing up the ward, out of fixing up the ward tonight versus a CT scan, what would have been a greater impact, Jamaica? What would have given a greater impact? So you can follow Mr. Zaka. Sajiko, you can be monitoring me with your media monitors. But I'm going to ask the questions tonight. 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. Almost 4 years after. Almost 4 years after Jamaica. I would have fixed the ward, then buy the CT scan.
I mean,
but I want to ask again, is Sajiko the only one who has done something like this? NCB Foundation, good night.
Lord have mercy.
NCB Foundation, good night.
Wow.
I've been reliably informed. There is an anesthetic or anesthesia.
Hold on there, before you go into that. So ladies and gentlemen, I found that article. You are running to impact people's lives. Mrs. Fraser, Shelley Ann Fraser Price, urges support for the Sigma Run 2023. It says here that she made the call during Tuesday, and this was December 8, 2022. She says here that she made the call during Tuesday's launch at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, New Kingston, in light of the ambitious and unprecedented target. Ambitious and unprecedented target, you know. Original youth, big up yourself. Original youth, say a real scam. We just want to get context, you know, because I never used to follow up any of this stuff. But it says here that ambitious and unprecedented target of 75 million set by the organizers to raise funds for the pediatric unit at the University Hospital of the West Indies and the Edna Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts. Registration is now open for all categories and will close January 27th, 2023. So that's why they were promoting it from in that time. So it's clear it's for the pediatric unit at the University Hospital. I also found the video that Andre played at the advertisement, and I am saying the advertisement leads the public to believe that the ward needed fixing, and the fact that you ask for that sum of money, any well-thinking Jamaican would think, listen, you're going to use the money for fixing up the ward and getting some equipment, whatever that is. Now, if it's a case where the $75 million was used to buy one CT scan, I am questioning, one, if that's true, the intelligence or the prudency of that decision. So you just buy the CT scan to put it in a dilapidated structure. I mean, the windows were compromised. The infrastructure really needed to be sorted out. So did you guys actually spend $75 million for the CT scan? Is it one CT scan or is it multiple? I'm confused. So we need some clarity on that. I don't know how far Sagicor goes into this. They what? You hand them the money and then you're done with it, Sagicor, right? So we have to look now to the Ministry of the UHWI again in regards to this one incident, and we have to look at Carl Bruce, Dr. Carl Bruce. His face was all over that. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Wow. Sagicor Sigma Run 2023. News article. Wow. This is what, M-Tech? That's the company? M-Tech? Gosford Lawrence came in first. 35 minutes and 31 seconds. 325 finishers. Women 3,961 women, 1,364 men. Wow, a holy bowman joined this one. A lot of people don't finish the race, guys, but they raise the money. They raise the money. Very interesting.
Department that you hospital. Let me get back the information. There's a department of Alex.
I don't want.
The $75 million brand pediatrics, you know.
Hello? I'm going to make
so many 75 wing of the 2020 CT scan, and you know, about how pediatrics, you know, we treat so many soap and OO services only available in Jamaica. And behind our backs, it takes a CT scan and purchases. It takes the money and purchases a CT scan, which will benefit the patients on the private wing of the 2020 wing. His own patients,
Mighty God. Repeat that, Dr. Hunter.
The $75 million brand new, I assume it's brand new, Philips CT scan will benefit his private patients on the Tony Twiggs wing of the University Hospital.
Mighty God.
So you are running to line his pockets. All week, this man is causing mayhem in the hospital. Can't people see it is time for him to get up and go? Pack his bag and go. Leave the hospital because he's a parasite on the hospital.
Wow.
A serious parasite.
Wow.
And I can see where my good friend David Walker had a ruptured blood vessel in his head, all because of the stresses of procurement and not properly accounting for what is being imported and accorded the duty. It was duty paid on the CT scan that is going to benefit private patients at the Tony Twiggs wing, in particular, Carl Bruce's private patients at the Tony Twiggs wing.
Mighty God.
It is a disgrace beyond words. How can a minister of health justify backing up this man? Tony Twiggs is supposed to buy their own CT scan. People pay private money for it, yet the pediatric ward at the University Hospital have left it with monitors that they have to tie up to the staff to get any readings. Yes, so the nurse showed it. She tied it up. Now look at this. I have 40 foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, the caller, Dr. Hunter, is alleging that the CT scan is for Dr. Carl Bruce wing for his private practice. He's alleging that the people ran to fill Carl Bruce's pockets. He's alleging that that's where the CT scan is going. If that is true, we're talking about serious levels of criminality. And whatever agency that needs to start investigating to verify these things needs to do so and verify these things, because it doesn't make any sense to me to advertise in a manner that suggests that the ward itself will be fixed. If the ward itself is not fixed and the CT scan comes and goes to the area that he's saying, which would they even do that still, given that he has come out and said it? I don't know. If that is true, you know, this is all allegations. I'm just probing the relevant questions, if, you know. So, Mr. Dr. Bruce, Carl Bruce, sir, if your hands are not dirty, or if your hands are clean, we would love to hear from you, sir, in regards to these allegations. I assume that you are very familiar with Dr. Hunter. The man called you a parasite. Guys, do you know what a parasite is? Do you know what a parasite does to a system? It sucks the life out of the system. That's a very strong word to use. Dr. Hunter called you, Dr. Carl Bruce, a parasite. Not my words. To the system. Guys, what do you think? We're going to see the back of Dr. Carl Bruce and Fitzgerald Mitchell. Do you guys think we're going to see the back of them? I really don't see how the people should not stand up and not give them a choice. With all of the evidence that is presented. And I'm going to start keeping in this tone even when I am working in the daytime, because I don't need to raise my blood pressure. I keep saying, Jamaican people, you need to be sorry for yourself. Collectively, we all have to, the light bulb needs to go on in our minds. Yes, this is what we need to do. And let it just happen. Naturally. This is incredible. It's incredible. It's actually incredible. I mean, not last night, the night before. I don't know if you guys was watching, but
I 15. My assessment showed 8 negative 1, B negative 1, M negative 2, M negative 3, 5/15. The patient only had a very weak gut and was unable to cause this aggressive stimulation on her body. Based on the fact that her GS was deteriorating and how she was now unable to protect her airway, I made a decision to order that she have the airway protected with a cuff or a pterygial tube and other minor changes to management. I was advised.
you don't know how you pronounce that word. I first met you that word. Oratorical what? Say what? Oratorical.
To my,
what?
I was advised by my ICU resident that Bruce had instructed that he did not want this specific patient to be incubated. The nurse in charge of ICU and the nurses looking after the patient confirmed this to me. They all were anxious about his reaction should the patient be incubated and insisted that I call Dr. Bruce. As a professional courtesy, I attempted to call Dr. Bruce twice while the staff were preparing to conduct the procedure. Both times the phone informed me that he was unavailable. I noted, Jamaica, that Dr. Bruce residents were also trying unsuccessful to his contact him. The patient was then safely and successfully incubated, protecting her airway and facilitating mechanical ventilation while we determine the cause of her neurosurgical challenges. The ward room continued. So they never get him in a court. So they acted in the interest of the patient. The ward room continued. While the ICU, a short time later, I received a telephone call from Dr. Bruce, stating that he was returning my call. I advised him of what had taken place. He then challenged my decision and told me that he did not want the patient incubated. When I pointed out the procedure had already been performed, he appeared to lose his temper and started shouting at me through the phone. I will not tolerate that, so hung up on him. A short time after Dr. Bruce appeared in the ICU with his team, he made his way straight across to me, where I was standing with my team in front of cubicle 4. He started to speak loudly, escalating almost to shouting, again challenging my decision. I responded by asking him why he thought that the patient with a GCS of 550 and no gag should not have her airway protected. He became more and more incensed, advising to invade my space and stand almost none to my nose with me. My response was to turn my back on him.
So, Mr. Carl Bruce, Dr. Carl Bruce, is there any truth to this report? You stood face to face with like this? No. I mean that when you do this, you're asking the person to defend themselves and you're imposing on their space. It gets real physical when they do this. Is that true? Is there any truth to this report? This is who you are, Dr. Carlos? Inquired minds would like to know. We would love to. So, outside of all the things that the Auditor General said, right? This, wow. Wow.
I felt, Ishmael, don't put up the last, take out that one, take out that one, I will read.
Wow.
I felt that it was clear attempt to bully and intimidate me. He started humiliated with him loudly calling me a damn asshole and accusing me of killing his patient.
Called her a damn asshole? Or him or whoever? This not sounding good, Dr. Carl Bruce. If there's any truth to these arguments, Yeah. The Manchester boys, man.
Courthouse, you killed my patient. This he repeated more than once. At the time, we were surrounded by resident nurses, my colleagues Dr. Spence and the physiotherapist. There is no shortage of witnesses. We are all aware that the institution...
There's no shortage of witnesses. Oh, no. Mr. Bruce, I think you know if this is true. If this is true, this would be out of the minister's hand. If any of this is true, I think you would know that Christopher Tufton is out of his hands, because you're talking about an allegation of physical and verbal assault. Like a police business, this.
Has a zero tolerance approach to verbal abuse of staff by others, especially when such abuse involves the use of expletives. Despite over the years receiving several complaints about Dr. Bruce's abusive behavior towards team members across the board, I am not aware that there has been any formal documentation of his behavior.
What? So, Mr. Carl Bruce, what this person is alleging is that you have multiple situations like this, and they are not documented. They are not aware of it being documented. The Manchester boys.
Mr. Dr. Plummer, to you to investigate and pursue this complaint to the full extent of the power.
Mighty God. Wow.
Mighty God, him beat the nurse and bully the other doctors.
Wow.
And in Jamaica, the doctor said he was Dr. Barney, lecturing anesthesia and intensive care, said he was actually doing this to save the patient's life. And he said, Jamaica, he never wanted the patient to be in incubator.
Wow.
He never wanted the patient to be in an incubator. He never wanted the patient to be in an incubator. Jamaica. A Glasgow coma scale score of 5 out of 15 indicates a severe brain injury or a state of coma. It represents a very low level of consciousness where the patient is typically non-verbal, does not open their eyes, and may show abnormal or no movement in the response to care. So the Dr. Barnett believe that putting back the patient into the ICU, into the incubator, would have been the best way. And Carl Hughes came and bullied Jamaica. Bullied. The doctors tonight are saying, Andre, they don't want to work with him anymore.
Whoa.
Nurses said they don't want to work with him. A lot of doctors, and the doctors said, Andre, over the years, and they said, UWE has been a feeding tree for both political parties. And I said, what? They said, yes, Andre, UWE has fed politicians and the senior consultants over the years, and now is the time for it to stop.
When you hear that? According to Andre, he has had conversations with doctors and nurses in the facility, UHII, and both political parties have benefited. It has been a feeding tree for politicians on both sides. If they are alive, I want everything to come out. I pray that everything comes out. And even if they're not alive, if the politician has passed away, we need to know their antecedents. It needs to be on record. Because we're not supporting it. I don't care what side it's on. I'm going to burn the fire harder on the PMP than the Labour Right, because we expect these things from the Labour Right. You understand? Honestly. But we shall see what we shall see. Before I go, thought that was an accident. No, see video, listen to this.
In relation to what's happening at the Cornwall Regional Hospital and why the nurses finally at the end of their tether took protest action, because I was saying on radio now that when you say healthcare workers start to protest, you know, so things matter. Because they're the hardest set of public sector workers to come out and speak, because I know it has to do with their conditions of employment. Dr. Badger, let me let you pick up there before I bring in Dr. Dawes, because you had started to, I don't know, it's as if I was hearing you speak from your heart. You are saying what it's like to resuscitate a patient on the ground.
Yes. So, I mean, if there's no tabletop available, then the ground is the next best thing. And within the whole facility, you have mold, you have rats, you have barely any space to move the blood pressure machine. And
this is the A&E we're still talking about?
In the retrofitted Mount Salem clinic that is used for A&E now. I actually heard a story. We had a meeting on Saturday. And in that meeting, I heard a story that absolutely broke my heart. There was a doctor and a nurse. They were fighting over one chair. Well, not physical fighting, but, you know, saying this patient needs a chair, that patient needs a chair, because we had an elderly male that needed a chair and a pregnant lady that needed a chair. So you can't imagine what it's like to choose between those two categories of patients. Why is there even a choice?
So the other one would have to go on the ground?
One of them would have to go, one of them would have to stand or go on the ground. So what ended up happening that the doctor had to give up her chair for the entire shift to give to the elderly male. Because there was no chair. There was no chair. And that unnecessary tension, and I'm not saying that they were, you know, arguing or anything, but that unnecessary back and forth for a chair, for a patient, not even a bed, it's heart-rending.
Continuing to talk about issues in the public health system before the break.
Guys, I have no words. I'm not prepared to respond to what I just heard a while ago. Because I never listened to the whole thing. I just saw after I pressed Dean Jackson Miller interview with Dr. Dawes. I actually thought Dr. Dawes was going to speak. But why he doesn't even need to speak? The doctors are speaking for him. My God. My God. A pregnant lady and an elder man. My God. That could have been my mother. That could have been my mother's child, my child's mother. Pregnant. That could have been my father. Could have been my uncle. And the nurses is saying, one nurse is saying, no, the pregnant lady need it. And she said, no, but it's an elderly person. But them have to argue over one chair. I deliberate over one chair because there's no chair. And they spend all this money. They spend the most money in the healthcare system. And the nurse have to argue over one chair for an elderly person and a pregnant person. Jamaica, this is where we are at. You guys are gonna accept excuses from it. You're gonna accept Christopher Tufton talking about he's gonna have an oversight committee. Him are gonna choose an oversight committee when these are the things that are happening. Oh no, Jamaica. Listen to me, I have seen countries unite for less. Jamaica, we are joking, and people out here talking about the PMP. Who has brought this information to us? The PMP. I don't want to hear nobody on the internet. Me I go publicly challenge, you know. If me hear one more somebody come on the internet talking about the PMP need for, I don't be this at all. If me hear it, me I challenge, you know. It is time for the people of Jamaica united. All well-thinking Jamaican, all Jamaicans are principled. This is unreal. It's like you get worse and worse and worse, bro. How we haven't heard from the Prime Minister? How Christopher Tufton still have a job? How is that even possible? In which self-respecting country could Christopher Tufton have a job still? Yo, this drip me up, dog. Yo, this drip me up.
And in that,
the table, no, the floor, bro, the rats.
meeting, I heard a story that absolutely broke my heart. There was a doctor and a nurse. They were fighting over one chair. Well, not physical fighting, but saying this patient needs a chair, that patient needs a chair, because we had an elderly male that needed a chair and a pregnant lady that needed a chair. So you can imagine what it's like to choose between those two categories of patients. Why is there even a choice?
So the other one would have to go on the ground.
One of them would have to go. One of them would have to stand or go on the ground. So what ended up happening that the doctor had to give up her chair for the entire shift to give to the elderly male because there was no chair. There was no chair, and that unnecessary tension. And I'm not saying that they were arguing or anything, but that unnecessary back and forth for a chair, for a patient, not even a bed. It's heart-rending.
Continuing to talk about issues in the pub.
Yo, man, listen.
When you have staff working in those environments where they have to be using a flashlight to diagnose if there's air outside of the lung, you're setting them up for medical legal issues. Nobody wants to put their degree at risk. Nobody wants to.
Oh, that was from June 27, 2025. Come here and say, where's the bee on the headlines? I have people on the internet, these JP vloggers, that want to focus on Dr. Dawes and Dennis Garden and the real issues, the core issues, they refuse to focus on. Well, you see, I have to, listen, I have to touch on this tomorrow again, you know? Later again, you know? No, this, no, sir. Mm-mm. No. I have to touch on this tomorrow again. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting the platform. For those on TikTok, the link to my YouTube page is in my bio. I don't always go live on TikTok, so it's worse now because I have a limited amount of equipment right now. I have a phone issue, so I don't have enough equipment to go live on all minimum 2 platforms I have to go on now. So TikTok, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need you guys to subscribe to my YouTube page. Again, the link is in my bio. Alright? Thank you guys so much for the continued support. So just click on my face, go to my page, and you will see the link, and you click the link. David, pick up yourself. See what I say? For those that just came in, like I said, go to my YouTube page. You'll be able to catch the replay of this live stream and the myriad of things we discussed. It's there. Alright? That's where the recordings are. TikTok don't record live streams in full for you post them back. If you go through some bag of things, you post some little things. I ain't got time for that. I already have 4 YouTube channels, and right now I can only manage. I don't have time for 2 of them. So my time is spread. I'm a one-man army. I make my thumbnails, all of that. It's all me. You get me? So see y'all later. Thanks again. Peace. I'm out.